This is Madman Review with your host, Andrew. Today, we do not make a review, but instead take a look at Marlin Firearms that seems to make its comeback. Who likes lever-action guns knows the name Marlin and is pleased to know that this manufacturer might soon be back in the game. The parent company of Marlin was in financial troubles. This led to Marlin itself ceasing the production of rifles in August 2020. What looked like the end of this great company might have instead been a new chance. Ruger bought it for a little over $28 million in September 2020. This saved Marlin from the bankruptcy of Remington Outdoor. Ruger itself is known as an industry leader thanks to its innovations and quality. This is promising for Marlin and its rifles. There's not yet much known about what will come, but it's being said that the shipping of new guns will start again this year. The best part is that Marlin is in the hands of Ruger remains what it was, an American company. The rifles will be American-made, not imported, and that's important for a lot of users, and it will boost the demand greatly once Marlin rifles are available again. Now, you might want to say that lever-action rifles are outdated, so who cares about that comeback? However, that's to confuse the terms proven and outdated. Just because the design dates back more than an AR-15 does not mean that it does not have its merits. Instead, these merits are plentiful and go from the cartridge to the reliability, the ease of use, the ease of maintenance, and of course, that has proven itself time and time again. Is that all, you might ask? No, that's not all. It's also a gun that lends itself to top-up loading, has no detachable magazine, and is nothing like a semi or even fully auto so-called assault rifle. In other words, you can shoot it and replace any spent round one by one while still being ready to shoot again. There's no rules that limits the capacity of the tubular magazine as a magazine. Alright, but not detachable. And it's the last weapon on the list of those that try to limit your rights to gun ownership. Let's take a look at the cartridges. Here you have a wide variety in more than one way. First, you can choose to buy yourself a Marlin 22 long rifle or 45-70. This means you get one with a very light round for beginners up to a real hard hitter for those that are going after big game. However, there is more than just that. You can also go with the calibers between that also gives you a variety again. You can choose a 357 Magnum and shoot the good old 357 Magnum round as well as a 38 Special or 38 Special plus P through it. This alone gives you variety, which in turn you can increase once more. While an AR-15 depends on the round to cycle the action, in a lever-action rifle, this is done by the shooter. This allows you to go with very light blinking loads up to really hard-hitting, hot-loaded, heavy for caliber rounds. This not only hold true for the 357 Magnum, you get similar variety out of other calibers as well, like the 44 Magnum. The action in lever guns, especially Marlins, runs smoothly. With a little bit of training, you can shoot and cycle your rifle pretty fast and bring down a lot of firepower on a given target. This makes them good self-defense and home defense guns. Chambered in a revolver cartridge, you can also pair it with a wheel gun and stock up on one caliber alone. Taking the 357 Magnum again as an example, it packs quite a punch. Out of a 6-inch revolver, it will easily outdo a 9mm round out of a pistol caliber carbine. Shoot out of a lever-action rifle or carbine, it can go faster than 2,000 feet per second and punch upwards of 1,300 foot-pounds of energy, depending on the bullet weight, load, and barrel length. Especially as a carbine, these lever-action rifles are light, short, easy to handle and maneuver, and can do some real damage. This all is even more true with the 45-70. But in that case, you lose the advantage of the same caliber in your sidearm. That is as long as you're not willing to carry a Magnum Research BFR chambered in 45-70, which is a beast of a revolver. Marlins have been popular as guide gun models in 45-70 in bear country, like Alaska and the Rocky Mountain states. There's not much left that can top the punch of this round. It will definitely stop a charging bear in its tracks. While the popularity of lever-action rifles when it comes to hunting has waned a little bit, they're still in the game and going strong. That's not only because of their practical use, which they have thanks to the variety and punch of their rounds, but also the history they stand for. Let's face it, the lever-action rifles paired with a revolver in the same caliber have conquered the West. Going hunting nowadays with such a rifle, even without the revolver, puts you back in this time. We can all feel it as we've grown up with cowboy movies and John Wayne. Then it was a dream, but now we can have our own lever-action rifle. With our modern technology, the guns can take much stronger rounds, which the same technology is able to deliver. The power of these rounds have far surpassed that of the old days, so it is no problem to go after even big game with them. There's also a whole world of nostalgia built around them, the world of cowboy action shooting. It started in the late 80s and brought the lever action again into the focus of the shooting community. Every weekend, lever-action rifles are used to relive the Wild West, showing their true potential. It's fascinating to watch them and see them hammered 10 rounds of 38 Special on target before the first empty cartridge touches the ground. The aspect of the gun conquering the Wild West has lent lever-action rifles for yet another use, and that is as a survival gun for SHTF. Be it a complete breakdown of the economy or society, or just your personal out-of-the-ordinary situation in which you have to survive, for hunting or defense against four or two-legged predators in such times, the lever-action gun has been done all already once in the Wild West. It can do it again and be again paired with a revolver in the same caliber to get the most out of its cartridge. With the variety that revolver cartridges offer, you have a good chance to find ammo to feed your guns, and their punch and accuracy is nothing to be trifled with. Coming back to Marlin rifles, it's important to note that they are not just any lever-action rifles made by a new manufacturer copying an old system. Instead, the company was founded by John Marlin, who was born in 1836. He became an apprentice in a mechanist program with American Machine Works. After that, it said that he worked for Colt as a machinist and also a tool maker. From 1863 on, Marlin made tiny pistols that were easy to conceal and meant to be used especially by women to protect themselves in those dangerous times. In 1870, he began his work with rifles, in this case the Ballard Singles shot rifles. From there, he made his way into repeating rifles with his first model 1881. This was a powerful gun chambered in .45-70. Soon followed the model 1884. The patent to this gun was held by Lewis Lobdell Hepburn, who was with Remington. After the bankruptcy of Remington, Hepburn took the model 1884 by Marlin. Also, he had patents for the 1888, 1889, 1891, 1892, and 1893. Then there was the 1894 and 1895, both of which were in production until the year 2020. Since the model 1889, Marlin rifles had a single ejection port, what developed into a symbol for them. There were a lot of other patents for firearms, but those are the most important. After a long history in which Marlin also ventured into the business of handguns, shotguns, and bolt-action rifles, its biggest seller were the lever-action rifles. The new chance with Ruger might make it possible to soon have these beautiful guns again on the shelves to be bought new for hunting, self-defense, or home defense. In today's time, it is not only a classic firearm, but also a bit of safety and protection that you get with one of these beauties.